Imagine two coworkers starting the same job on the same day, earning the exact same salary. 10 years later, one of them has a net worth of almost $300,000. The other has maybe $8,000 in a savings account and a car payment. Same job, same paycheck, same city. So what happened? It wasn't that one got lucky or inherited money. The only difference, the only one that mattered, was how they thought about the money that came in every 2 weeks. One of them consumed it, the other one deployed it. And that gap, that tiny invisible difference in thinking, turned into a six-figure gap in wealth. That difference has a name. It's called the owner mindset. We were taught to earn, spend, and save whatever's left, but people who actually build wealth flip that completely. They earn, invest, and spend whatever's left. Same dollars, completely different destination. Let me paint a picture for you. There's someone named Marcus. He's 28, works a solid job making about $55,000 a year. He pays his rent, his car note, puts a little into savings, and spends whatever's left. He's doing what he was told. Go to school, get a good job, save what you can. Sounds responsible, right? But Marcus has been doing this for 6 years, and his net worth hasn't really changed. He's not broke, but he's not building anything either. He's running on a treadmill. That's the employee mindset. I trade my time for money, I spend that money on my life, and whatever's left is what I save. It's reactive, it's linear. The problem is your income has a ceiling, but your expenses almost never do. Lifestyle inflation creeps in, costs go up, and suddenly you're making more money but saving the same amount or less. I've seen people making $150,000 a year just as stressed about money as people making $50,000 because their lifestyle inflated with their income, but their wealth didn't. They're high-earning employees, not owners. And the psychological weight of that is real, because deep down they know that if they stop working, the money stops too. But here's what most people miss. The alternative isn't quitting your job and starting a business. The real shift is learning to direct some of your income into things that generate returns, into assets that work even when you're not working. That's the owner mindset. You don't need to own a company to think like one. You just need to start treating your money like a tool that builds something instead of something that just passes through your hands. An owner looks at every dollar and asks, is this dollar being deployed or is it just sitting there? This doesn't mean you never spend on things you enjoy. It means before your money goes to lifestyle, it goes to assets first. An asset is anything that puts money back in your pocket without requiring your direct time. When an employee gets a paycheck and asks, what can I buy? An owner asks, what can I build? Let's get specific. Take $400 a month, about $13 a day, and invest it into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. At an average historical return of around 10% annually, that turns into roughly $90,000 in 10 years. In 20 years, it's around $300,000. And in 30 years, it's over $790,000. You didn't start a business or get a second job. You just redirected money that was already flowing through your hands into something that compounds. That's the owner mindset at its most basic level. You're buying tiny pieces of real businesses. When you buy an index fund, you literally own fractions of companies like Apple, Microsoft, Johnson & Johnson, hundreds of them. Those companies have employees generating revenue and building products, and a portion of that value flows back to you as a shareholder. You're not just earning a paycheck anymore, you're earning from other people's work too. This isn't exploitation. It's how the entire financial system is designed to function. Now, most people hear this and think $400 a month is a lot when I'm stretched thin. I get that, but you don't start at $400 if that feels impossible. You start at $50 or $100. The exact number matters less than the habit of paying yourself first. You automate it so you never have to make the decision. It just happens. That's dollar cost averaging. Investing the same amount every month regardless of what the market is doing. It removes emotional decision-making, and it's boring, which is exactly why it works. Now, the container matters almost as much as the investment. Here's the system. First, if you have a 401k with an employer match, you start there. A company match is free money. If your employer matches 50% up to 6% of your salary and you're making $55,000, that's an extra $1,650 just for participating. Don't leave that on the table. Next is a Roth IRA. For 2026, you can contribute up to $7,500 per year if you're under 50. Your money grows completely tax-free, and when you withdraw in retirement, you pay zero federal taxes on those gains. If your investments grow from $7,500 to $75,000 over a few decades, you own no penny on that $67,500 in growth. Then there's the Health Savings Account, or HSA. If you have a high deductible health plan, you can contribute up to $4,400 as an individual in 2026. It has a triple tax advantage. Contributions are tax deductible, your investments grow tax free, and withdrawals for qualified medical expenses are tax free. Most people don't even know they can invest the money inside it. So the system is 401k match first, Roth IRA second, HSA if you're eligible, and then a taxable brokerage account for anything beyond that. Each container has different tax advantages, and using them together is one of the biggest wealth multipliers available to everyday people. It's the difference between consuming your income and deploying it. It's the difference between the treadmill and the launch pad. It's the owner mindset, and you can start today. Most people get the math. They've seen the charts showing how compound interest can turn small amounts into a fortune over time, and yet they don't invest. Why? It's not laziness, it's psychology. There's this thing called present bias. It means we're wired to overvalue what feels good right now and undervalue what will benefit us way down the road. Spending $200 today on a new gadget or a nice dinner out gives you an immediate dopamine hit. You can feel it. Investing that same $200, it gives you, well, nothing you can feel right now. It's an abstract gain for a future version of you that barely feels real. Then there's loss aversion. Psychologists have found that we feel the pain of losing money about twice as intensely as we feel the pleasure of gaining it. So when the market drops 10%, your brain isn't just concerned, it's screaming, sell, get out, protect what's left. But if you look at history, every single major market downturn has been followed by a recovery. The people who panicked and sold, they locked in their losses. The people who just stayed the course, they came out ahead every single time. I remember the exact moment this all clicked for me. I was checking my small investment account and I saw that my dividend stocks had paid out $142 that month. Now, $142 wasn't life-changing money, but here's what was. I had made it without working for it. That money was going to show up whether I had a good month at my job or a bad one. It hit me then. I wasn't just an employee anymore. I was building something that would one day give me freedom from that paycheck to paycheck cycle. That's the turning point. It's when you set up your finances so your emotions don't get a vote. You set up automatic investments. You decide to check your portfolio quarterly, not daily, because you're not a trader trying to time the market. You're an owner. And owners don't sell their entire business just because of one bad quarter. They hold, they reinvest, and they think in decades, not days. When you truly shift from the employee mindset of I earn and spend to the owner mindset of I earn, deploy, and build, something fundamental changes. You stop seeing your paycheck as just a way to survive until the next one. You start seeing it as raw material, fuel for a machine that is quietly building your financial freedom in the background. That's not motivational fluff. It's literally what happens when compound interest is given enough time and consistency to do its work. So, here are your next steps. Step 1, if you have a 401k with an employer match, log in this week. Make sure you're contributing enough to get the full match. It's free money. If you're not sure how, call HR. It takes 10 minutes. Step 2, open a Roth IRA if you don't have one. Go to Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. It takes about 15 minutes online. Then set up automatic monthly contributions. Choose a broad index fund and just let it ride. Step 3, automate everything. Set up automatic transfers from your checking to your investment accounts for the day after you get paid. When the money moves before you even see it, you'll never miss it. A good system will always beat willpower. Step 4, track your net worth, not just your income. Use a simple spreadsheet or an app to monitor your assets minus your liabilities. Update it once a month. Watching that net worth number grow, even slowly, is what reinforces the owner mindset. And if you're thinking you don't have enough to start, listen, putting in $25 a month is infinitely better than waiting until you feel like you can afford $500. You're not just investing money, you're building the habit. The amounts will grow as your income grows. The gap between people who build wealth and those who don't isn't really about income or intelligence or luck. It's about this one shift. It's deciding to stop thinking like someone who just earns money and starting to think like someone who owns something. You don't have to quit your job. You don't need to start a company. You just need to take the money that's already flowing through your life and point some of it towards assets that grow. That's the entire game. It's just small, consistent actions compounding over time. It's not sexy, it's not fast, and nobody's going to make a viral video about you quietly investing $200 into an index fund. But 20 years from now, when your portfolio is generating passive income while you sleep, that's when you'll feel the true weight of this shift. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, this is just for education, but education paired with action is how real wealth gets built. If this helped you see things differently, consider subscribing and drop a comment to let me know. What's the first thing you're going to do after hearing this? I'll see you in the next one.